Hi, hello, what's up? It's Gokuma. Welcome to the channel. Also, happy 420. Even though I can't really celebrate 420 here, for reasons. Well, basically, the reasons are is that um, marijuana here, drugs in general here, is like super fucking illegal. Um, so in all honesty, like I hear stories from time to time, like on the news or whatever, about like people getting caught with marijuana and stuff, and I'm sitting here like, how, like, where the fuck do you guys even find that? Because since coming here is like, I like, not that I would, I I I I wouldn't, because I don't want to either get like immediately like deported, or go like straight to jail for several months. Yeah. So I've been sober. Well, at least like I haven't been smoking anything since I came to Japan. Drinking is a whole other thing. Drinking I do a lot here, which thank God they have such a big drinking culture. But I do think if they had a if marijuana was legalized here, I do think it would help like a lot. um for a few reasons, because like they have such a big drinking culture, and not everyone is like is into that shit. um and also, they're not, in my experience, and this isn't a knock on Japanese people or anything, but they're pretty weak when it comes to alcohol. There's not many Japanese people, if any at all, that I know that can drink like a decent amount of alcohol and then be able to contain their shit. Um yeah, that's not been a thing that I see. It's pretty normal when I go into the cities, and I'm either like out drinking or just out hanging out, because maybe I'm driving so I can't drink. Um, yeah, sometimes you walk around and you just see people like just fucking slouched over on like the fucking bench and shit, like, and they're like throwing up or whatever, or they're just like laying on the um, side of a building or something. Like, yeah, it's like it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. They can't contain their shit. Um, and that's where I think marijuana would come in, because they can go, they can feel good without like getting hungover or sick, or anything like that. Um, Also, it would definitely help them sleep and chill and and relax and calm down and all that. So, um, I think there's benefits to it, um, but it's one of those things where I know, like, in other countries, like, America, for example, where I'm from. Um, I know that over, the last decade or so, we've made many strides towards how we treat and how we view marijuana. Like, granted, it still varies state by state, but the fact that we even have that, and then even if like you live in a state that where it's like completely illegal, dude, like you can get it, and even if you get like caught, as long as you're not caught selling it or whatever, like, and you're not some repeat offender or anything like that, um it's like you might just get a slap on the wrists. I know that varies, though, that the experience varies, sometimes all depending on who you are. But it's not like here in Japan, where it's like you get busted with that shit, like, nah, you're going to jail for months. or months, and then probably like, if you're a foreigner, you're either getting deported right away or you're going to their jail for 6 months and then getting deported. So it's a pretty big deal here. I remember a few years ago, I don't know, like there was something about like some teachers at another school, who they got like caught like smoking weed, or got caught with something happened, and I guess a bunch of schools in the area, including my school, had to do like they had like some type of like presentation. I think it might have been done by like the police and stuff, about like marijuana and drugs in general and stuff. And I went to watch it like just for the hell of it, and it's like, like some of the other drugs like I can understand, but when they talk about marijuana, it's like such reefer madness shit. Like, um, so yeah, like they do really have people like thinking that like marijuana is like some type of like really hard drug or something. I've had um Japanese people like ask me, because like I'm open about it, I don't give a shit. And they ask me like, oh, what it's like, and I'm like, to me anyways, it's just it's like what you want out of drinking. It's like you want to feel good. Like you drink because it makes you feel good, but then it might make you feel bad also. Like, physically and whatever. um but I tell them that it's like, okay, it's like drinking, it's like getting all the good stuff about drinking without none of the bad stuff. Like, you're not gonna get hungover or anything like that, or sick the next day. Like, nah, if anything, you might just get like a really good sleep. And then you might wake up a little groggy the next day, but you'll probably feel good also. And then they're like, oh, um like, don't you miss it, like um weren't you addicted, or isn't addicting, or whatever. And to me, like, I know, like, I've had some discourse online like about like how addictive marijuana is, but like I've smoked around back when I was in America. Like, I smoked with a lot of people. I had a lot of friends, and um not a single one of us developed like some type of like issue being like addicted or some shit. So, um if anything, like, let's say like you smoke like pretty often or whatnot, and then all of a sudden like you got to stop for whatever reason. And um in my experience, I think like the first like few days, like it sucks. It's like, man, like I really want to smoke, but like I can't, and it sucks, and life sucks, and everything sucks, and whatever. But that's only for like a few days. Like, once you get past like a few days, like you're fine. Like, you're fine. I remember like coming here to Japan, after living in Florida for so long, and like smoking there for so long, and then coming to Japan, and then having to come to like a sudden stop. Like, I even smoked like the day I was leaving. And then I come to Japan, and it's like, that's it. It's over. I got to stop. Like, that's that. And I think the what was good though was that I was, because I think if you suddenly stop, but you're living your normal life, you're living your normal routine, I think then it sucks, because then it's more noticeable that something's missing. But because I came to Japan, and all of a sudden, like, I was in a new place, I had a new life, I had new experiences, like, I just got here, like, dude, nah, I was way too distracted to fucking worry about like if I was um smoking or not. Like, Yeah. So, and it's been fine. Like, I honestly, like, I don't mind. And at the same time, like, I knew what was going to happen moving here. I knew, like, if I move here, like, I'm not going to be able to smoke anymore. Yeah, I'm going to have to drink a lot more. But, I won't be able to smoke and stuff. But I don't know, being here has been a really, really great experience. And that's what I learned when I came here the first time in 2019. Like, I knew, I think, to give people some advice for whenever they're considering doing something like this, going to like another country and whatnot, is the thing to keep in mind is that when moving to another country, especially from a country that you've lived in so long, that there's so many things that you're used to, that's just part of normal life, is, so you have to keep in mind, going from a life like that to a completely new life in another country, like, there is going to be things that you will lose. Like, it just is, like, especially food, certain foods, maybe certain things, activities, I don't know, whatever. There's going to be like a lot of changes. There's going to be a lot of sacrifices that you will make. Like, there will be things that you will lose out on. But but there's also things that you gain. So in Japan, they have a big drinking culture. And doing things like nomi hodais and stuff is like, is really cool. Y- um and then the food in Japan is just fucking excellent. Like, it's really, really good. Yeah, I miss American food very much. And if I go back to America, like, yeah, it's cool, like, I get all this food back again, but at the same time, I'm gonna miss Japanese food a lot. Convenience stores are actually fucking convenience stores, like emphasis on the convenience. And and Japan in itself is, it's a really beautiful country. Like, it really is, like, either whether coming in from the cities or being like me, where I'm on the more nature side of things. When you're out in the country, when you're out in the nature, like, it's really beautiful here. Like, it really is. And yeah, I've just been having a great experience while being here in Japan. So, like I said, there's going to be things that you are going to lose out on, but there's going to be new things that you will get to experience. So, it's not, so to keep in mind, it's not about, what you're losing. It's about what you're gaining. It's about, like, what's now new in your life. Like, there's new experiences to be had. Because no matter, almost anywhere you go, like, you're gonna be missing out on stuff. It's never going to be quite like the life you had back in, like, your home country. So it could be a better experience. It could also be a worse. I don't know, all depending on where you're from, and also, I think, your perspective on life. So, yeah, so with that being said, I knew what I was getting into coming here. I knew, like, if I was going to come to Japan, like, that's going to be it for me, being a stoner. And there's nothing I could really do about that, unless I go and whenever I visit back home, like, take advantage of that time, or if I visit other countries or something. Um but other than that, like, yeah, no, my life as a stoner came to an end when I came back to Japan. And like, I see no hope or chance in any form of regulation in terms of marijuana or anything. If anything, like they're just being like more fucking anal about that shit. Like to the point where I think starting June 1st, products that have like CBN in it, it's like a type of like, I don't know, cannabis oil type thing, is going to be completely banned. Like just like completely, like just across the board. It's like if it's a CBN, like now you're banned. And you know, and things could get added to that at any time. So um yeah, it's just with Japan, it's yeah, I there's like no hope in that aspect. Like, you know, over in America, it's like, you know, you can be hopeful because a lot of places around America are getting pretty lax to it, but in Japan, like no, no. And this is why, like, Japan as a country, there's a lot of things that they need to like address and fix and solve. Right now, um, instead of like directly addressing their issues as a country, they're taking from the 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 Trump handbook basically, and just going after anything that has to do with like foreigners and immigrants and whatever, um, to the point where it's like they just, you know, they just go completely like extreme on the matter, and that's usually how Japan reacts. Like either Japan reacts in the most extreme way, or they like barely, or there's like barely reaction. And this is one of those things where it's like, okay, they're reacting a bit too much on this. You know, so not to make a whole thing about this, but for example, like the the whole transferring of driver's license, you know, which I could understand that, you know, they felt like they had a problem with people, with tourists coming into the country and transferring their license so they can like drive around here and stuff. And I think like for certain countries, like it's easier than others to transfer, but I think for the most part, like it's easy to transfer. And then they get their license and then they cause accidents and stuff, like, you know, according to them. Um, so my thing would have been like, okay, so why don't you just change the rules so that people who are tourists can't transfer their license. Like if you're a tourist, like you can't transfer your license. You should just be able to get an IDP, and that's that. It's like, why do you need to transfer your license here? You know, and just make it so that, you know, people who are foreigners but are immigrants who like who actually like live here, like who are residents here, like then with them you can still have them transfer their license the same. Like just change the rules so that if you're a tourist, like you can't transfer your license. You can only do it if you're residents. But nah, now it's like everyone. Now it's everyone. Like doesn't matter who. It's like just fucking flat out everyone that they made the changes to. So now when you go to transfer your license, instead of like taking like a simple like 10 question test and then like a course test, now it's the course test still, but now it's you have like a 50 question test. So yeah. um so that, you know, so that kind of sucks. um Again, they could have just targeted tourists, but nah, they were like, you guys are all the fucking same shit. So then, which before I continue, which is like a little like offensive because there's a lot of, because a lot of people who are tourists, like they come in, and because they know that they're only going to be here for a short time, you have, you know, of course it's not everyone. You do have a lot of respectful tourists and stuff, but then you do have some tourists who, because they know like they're not from here, they're not going to come back here, they're only here for a bit, that the country will just take their shit, and that's that. Whereas me and many of the people that I know who come here as residents, we do our best to be, respectful at all times. And it's not even like something that we have to be told to do. It's just we just are, because we just have a natural respect for the country and the people here, and the traditions and stuff. So we won't go around and, I don't know, like just fuck around with shit like that. But tourists do, because they know, like, it doesn't matter, they're gonna leave. Meanwhile, the residents, like, we live here, like, this is our where our homes where our homes are, is where our work and careers are. And also, to add, I keep forgetting to mention this to people, but like, I've actually officially been here for like 4 years, as of like maybe like a week or so ago. I've been officially here like 4 years, um, which is like really really crazy, because it's like, where the fuck does the time go? I still feel like I just got here. Like, yeah, I still feel like I just got here, and you're telling me like I'm on my final year of the program. As of now, I'm on my final year of the program. I will be done by next year in August, and then I have to see, sometime before then, if I'm going to do something where I get to remain in Japan, or will I have to go back to America, or will I have to go, or will I just do something like I was doing here, but in another country? I don't know. There's a lot of things to consider. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. And a lot of people that were here when, either when I got here, or were here like, fairly close to when I was here. Maybe they came here like a year later or so. A lot of them are leaving. A lot of them are leaving. I think, as far as I know, there's only like one other person that I know who came here the exact same, damn near the exact same time I did, and they're still here. So by the time like I'm finished, they'll be finished, as well, and they're like the only other person that that I know who who was here when right when I got here. Everyone else will be, they everyone else has slowly left, but like, the people who were committed to staying, that they'll, whatever few that were left, like, no, they'll be gone, in a few months, which is crazy. Really fucking crazy. Mm. So yeah, life. Anyways, yeah, I got into this whole thing because of 420. I can't really celebrate 420 here, but the rest of the world, where you're allowed to, you totally can. You totally can. I spent so I haven't streamed in a bit. I think it's been another good few days, maybe. No, 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 no. Maybe. Because I think I streamed. Yeah, it might have been a good few days since I streamed, because I think I don't know. Didn't I stream on Thursday? I don't know. I don't know what was the last time I streamed, but I know I had like a busy weekend, so it's quite possible I didn't stream for like another few days, but I'm pretty sure I streamed on Thursday. So, anyways, um, yeah. So Friday I was busy. I was busy all day. I think. Oh, okay. I think I remember now. I think I streamed on Wednesday. But I didn't stream on Thursday. Because I had to, or maybe I did stream on Thursday. I don't know. Anyways, doesn't matter. So Friday, I was busy all day. I was like out and about, all day. Um, Saturday, I was also busy all day. Went to the wine festival. Had a lot of fun. I think there's gonna be plans on going again in like May. I'm gonna be going a couple more times. The wine festival ends at the end of May, so let's take advantage of this shit while it's here. Um, and then Sunday, um, I had a movie night with friends. We watched Wayne's World. Um, and then just hung out and stuff. And then but also the last couple of days or mornings for me watching WrestleMania. It's WrestleMania weekend. I got to see both WrestleMania um night 1 and night 2. For me it's more like day 1 and day 2 because it happens like during the day. But anyways, overall, like I thought the WrestleMania event was pretty good. I did like it. I did enjoy it. I don't know what the consensus is going to be on the internet. I'm just gonna assume that they're just gonna hate it because they hate everything. They hate life. Um, but without listening to what the fuck anyone else thinks, I don't know. I enjoyed the show. I thought it was good. Day one, things started with the 6-man tag. That match was all right. It was probably a good idea to like open with that because it was an all right match. Um, I did notice that in the event, the entirety of the event, you barely had any matches that had like more than like one people. Like most of the matches, I mean, not more than one people. I mean, like more than like 1v1. So you had the only like multi-person matches were you had like a four-way tag match for the women's tag titles, and you had a six-way ladder match for the Intercontinental title. Those were the only multi-people matches. Those were the only ones. Everything else, um, well, okay, and then I guess if you count the 3 feet, the 3v3, the 6-man, so the 3v3. Other than that, everything else was 1v1. Like there were no like even like triple threats or fatal four ways like for a singles title. Like no, like they were actually like all like 1v1, which is good because it also shows that for a lot of the people that got the 1v1, it shows that like hey, like you can carry a match. Like just you two can carry a match. We don't need to do anything else um to hype the match or something. Like you guys are enough. And with the 6-man ladder match, like I mean, you do need like a big multi-man title match, but not only that, like a fucking ladder match. And ladder matches are only good, or I mean, no, they're not that they're only good, but they're definitely like more exciting when you have like multiple people. So for that, like it's a given, and it's not them trying to say like Penta and whoever's not enough. It's like nah, like we need a multi-person ladder match. We need a 6-man ladder match for the event. Like it's just a given, regardless. So um, and of course, like it would make sense to like give it to like all the fucking luchadors. So off the top of my head, trying to remember like other matches from day one and stuff. I remember you had the speaking of tag matches, you had the fatal four way tag team match. That was really surprising because I haven't been following WWE too well, like the leading into WrestleMania. Unfortunately, I've just been really busy. I do watch like YouTube videos, but it's mostly like whatever's going on between like CM Punk and Roman Reigns. I don't know, and then also like some stuff with like Seth Rollins and Gunther, and such. So like I had no idea that this match was setting up to be a fatal four way. I didn't know that Nikki Bella was injured. And then she says like, "Oh, she called an old friend." And I don't know like who it could have been. Like it could have been someone already like in the roster, like I don't know, maybe they asked Natty or something. Um it it could have been a legend, just there for the night. So I was thinking like, oh, maybe it's like Trish Stratus or Lita or something. Um but or it could just be like, yeah, well, couldn't be a whole new person, but it would have to be like a returning person. But yeah, no, I did not think it was going to be Paige. Like at first, like I heard the song and I'm like, whose song is this? Like I know it sounds familiar, but whose song is this? And then I remembered like it was Paige's. Like as it kept going, and then I was like, oh shit! Like that was a big reaction from me to see Paige come back and win the championship. So, um, but yeah, I'll talk about more about WrestleMania. I think in another video. Because I plan on trying to play as much as I can today, but I decided to do this for so I one of the runs that I have mapped out is basically a Power Ranger series run, but also not just Power Rangers, but also games from like the source material as well, which from Japan like isn't really like too many, but they do have some before we get to the 90s and Power Rangers becomes a thing, and then we get like fucking Power Rangers games like up the ass. Like we still get Power Rangers games up the ass to like this day. Even though, well, it's been a bit since the last Power Rangers game, but still, like you're always gonna get a Power Rangers game, like one way or another. Um, especially if it's Mighty Morphin. Especially if it's Mighty Morphin. So, anyways, um, all right. So I'm just gonna briefly talk about this. So the game that I'm playing today is Choujin Sentai Jetman. This is, if I'm not mistaken, I believe like this is the series in Japan. This is the series before um the series we would know as Mighty Morphin Power Rangers in Japan. But this is the series before that. This is actually the series that was almost picked up. That like this could have been like the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. But I don't know, for reasons I can't remember. Like we ended up going to um I think it's called Zio Ranger or Zio Ranga, whatever. um but yeah, this was the series before that one, and this could have been one of the series. This could have been the OG series. Would have been interesting to see if like how that turned out. Like if it was so would have been like as successful. Um, I'm not quite sure because like for the following series, I think their design looked really good. Like their outfits, their helmets and stuff, like all looked really good. Like really good. Like it looked on point. And then also they used dinosaurs. And when you're trying to attract like kids, um dinosaurs is a great way to go because fucking every kid loves dinosaurs. Who the fuck doesn't love dinosaurs? Plus, they look fucking cool and they can do shit. So and then, the Megazord design, and I think just the the whole package really catered itself. It just so happened to cater itself well to being adapted to America, and then it becoming a huge hit. Because if Jetman or Bioman or any other series like prior that came prior, if they were the first of the series, like, who knows if that would have caught on like it did. you know I don't know. I don't know for sure, but I do believe Zeo Ranger, like, having the look and the design that it did, and the Zords that it did, and it being like dinosaur themed, and then also having like the Great Rangers, like everything just lined up perfectly. Like, it was the perfect series that they could have just so happened to go and adapt. Because I'm sure they knew, like, they were gonna make some money off this series. That was the whole point. To be honest, it's an unfortunate honesty, but Saban and them, it's like, granted, like, yeah, they're probably fans of the product, but also when seeing the product, they were like, money. They were like, we can adapt this ourselves. Like, we can use like what they made, the footage that they made, and just, like, you know cut some scenes with like some cheap ass actors. And yeah. So, but anyways, yeah, so this is Jetman. I don't know what number series this is as far as like the Super Sentai goes. um but yeah, it's just the next one before Power Rangers, if I'm not mistaken. Or if it's not, it's pretty close, but I'm pretty sure it's the next one up. um And yeah, I don't really know much about this, but if you know like Super Sentai, like, then you know what to expect. This game came out for the NES. In Actually, no, my bad. It came out for the Famicom, over in Japan. And this is my first time playing it. I've played quite a few Power Rangers games over the years, like, specifically like the earlier ones, like the ones that came out like on SNES and Sega Genesis and stuff. And maybe I played Power Rangers games like every now and then, but that's where I mostly played Power Rangers games. So so yeah, so this is part of my Power Rangers run that I'm doing. And yeah, we're playing Choujin Sentai Jetman first. um Yeah, I'll probably talk about WrestleMania, and I'll probably talk more about Super Sentai for the next game that I play. But for now, like, we should really get this started because I talked for a while, and this game shouldn't be that long because it's a Famicom game. So, all right, let me get this going. Oh, I gotta fix this. I did not expect it to look like this. All right. I think I'm dumb. Hold on. Oh, what the? I think everything should be good. I dig the opening music. I didn't check to see if there was like a fan translation of this, but what else? Jet Garuda, Jet Icarus. Great Icarus. Okay. Let's go easy. I think I might have cheat codes on, but you know that's because like I wanna deal with shit right now. I could probably pick like any level. Well, there's 5 levels and there's 5 rangers, so I could play as like each one. It's actually the same colors as the following series. For the most part, like I'm sure this is like she's considered white, but she has pink. Huh. What's interesting is that them two have the same weapon. They both have the bringer sword. And she has a bird blaster. He has a bird blaster, and probably a he, because Yellow Rangers used to be guys, or they still can be guys, but this one's probably a guy. And he has the wing gauntlet. I'm gonna assume I'm supposed to say gauntlet, but yeah. Oh, I gotta fix my controls real quick because my analog stick ain't working. The D-pad works, but I don't want to use the D-pad. Oh, here we go. Input. Okay. Everything else should be good, I think. Oh shit, what the fuck did I do? I hit the start button to pause, and I guess that was a special. I fucked up. Okay, to pause is the select button. Okay. They're so tiny. Tiny sprites. Music's pretty good though, not gonna lie. Oh, okay, I can do... This is kind of like Ninja Gaiden a bit. This is kind of like Ninja Gaiden. Except, like, it does feel a little bit more stiff than Ninja Gaiden. Not by much, but it is noticeable. But yeah, I do feel like this is just Ninja Gaiden. Oh, that can hurt me. Boss battle? I guess so. They have a mirror monster. Oh, okay, so we don't get into a one-on-one fight? Okay, interesting. Interesting. Oh shit, I can get hurt. Oh no. I can block. I'm gonna die. Oh, I can't even take blocking damage. Shit, that means I gotta start over? Fuck. Where should I go? I'm gonna have to save state. I'm just gonna run. Just run. I gotta get ready to save state. I did it. That's kind of cool. They give you giant robot fight. All right, let's save state again. Rights are so tiny. Look at him. Like, now it's a camera monster. I'm gonna get ready to save state. Okay, I can't mash my way through this one, I think. Yeah, I can't mash my way through that one. Oh, I killed him a different way. Cool. Fuck is this? This supposed to be a computer? Or a monster truck computer thing? Alright, hold on real quick. Okay, all I put for code is like the one code for infinite health. But apparently it only affects like the characters, not when I do giant fights. Alright, that wasn't too bad. Though these fights are giving me like, I mean, no, they're not that bad. Not as bad as like fucking Ultraman. Alright, hold on real quick. Right back. Alright, I'm back. The guy had to run pretty far just to die. Is he a TV or camera light? And like armadillo TV? Oh, he's gonna be annoying. He's gonna be annoying. Yeah, he's gonna be annoying. Because he keeps like... Every time like he hits you, he bounces back off of you. Try this again. I don't think this is gonna work though. Let me see what happens if I can just do this. Oh, I killed him. Damn. That one I had a fucking button mash on. Like... I wonder why him and the black one have swords. And then the yellow one has a gauntlet. I don't really need to use it, I just use it for the hell of too much going on, so the game is like getting all like tricky. Gotta slow down. That clock on his head? Like elephant clock? Alright, see how this one goes. Alright, that wasn't too bad. I had a button mash on him also. So there's like only like one enemy that didn't work. Last area. The structure of this game is actually very similar to the SNES Power Rangers game, because it was like same shit, where it was like, I think you had like 5 areas and you had like a very similar screen, you know, where you get to pick whatever ranger you want to play as, and then you get through the area. You do a boss fight, but not a Megazord fight. You just do a boss fight. And then, yeah, after you beat these initial 5 levels, then the final 2 levels are the Megazord fights. And then that's it. It's a pretty short game, but it's also a pretty cool game. But yeah, the structure of this game is like very similar to that. Like very, very similar. The game, the entire game itself is, even at this part, it's like very similar, but there are like some like huge differences that I'll go over in a bit. Fight's probably gonna be a pain in the ass. Motherfucker looks like a Gundam. Dude, what the fuck? Some fucking Demon Gundam shit. Dude, he does a lot of damage. Okay, I might have to fight him tactically. Button mashing don't work. I think fighting tactically is gonna work. Can I, like, air jump? No? I'm gonna die. I'm like trying to button mash again, but yeah, he's really powerful though. Might actually need to cheat in this one. Like, I can't hit him. Like, look, like, I have such short range. I have, like, fucking T-Rex arms. Oh, he can stop that. What the fuck was that? Normally he shoots something, but that time he didn't. Okay, so this is the strat. Actually, this may not be the strat. Oh, you bitch! Alright. Yeah, let me do that. Damn it. Yeah, I'm blocking. Yeah, I have to start this fight over. Where I save state just in case. I did it. I hope I did. Hope that was his only form. I didn't realize the meter built up on its own. Thought like I had to hit and like get hit. Like I was thinking like a fighting game. I was like, nah, you dumb bitch. It just fills up by itself over time. And then I figured out like I could like goad him to like try to hit me. Save the Earth. Thank you for Jetman and you. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, so okay, so first off, this game really wasn't that bad. It's of course like many other of these old school type of games, like it is a bit like archaically difficult and whatnot. Getting through the initial stages probably would have been a pain in the ass if I didn't have If the Hell. Because running through that shit was like pretty basic. The gameplay of that is kind of similar to like Ninja Gaiden or even the Batman movie game. So it kind of reminded me like a lot of that. Which is okay. Like that was like pretty passable for back then. And then you got to the boss battles, the mech battles. I guess they weren't too bad. Luckily, fortunately, it wasn't that bad. Because I didn't have any codes for that. And I'm sure there is, but I just put Infinite Hell thinking like that was gonna be good enough. And nah, there wasn't. So, but it's fine. I managed to like figure out like dumb strats to get through the battles and whatnot. Yeah, so I mentioned that the structure of this game is very similar to the first Mighty Morphin Power Rangers game that came out for the SNES, because it was like same thing where it's like where you're going to, it's either, the way it works is that it's either like, because here you got to pick like the area you get to go and then what Power Ranger you're going to use. I don't recall in the one for SNES that, like depending on like you can pick a level and then pick the Power Ranger. I think regardless of whatever Power Ranger you pick, I think maybe you get that level. Like they already have a level like assigned to them. I'm not too sure. I don't remember, or it just like, or the levels go like in order and you just pick like whatever. I don't remember, but but there is like like where you choose a Power Ranger and then you get through the level. The levels are a little bit longer, might be a little bit more platformy or whatever, but they're like quite a bit longer. And at the end you have a boss battle, but you don't have a Megazord battle. You just have a boss battle with the Power Ranger you picked. And then another big difference, which makes sense because this is Famicom versus SNES, but in the one for the SNES, you start, when you pick the Power Ranger, like you start out in their unmorphed form, and then I think you have to play up to like a certain point in the level. I don't know if you can do it beforehand, but definitely like when you get to like a certain point in the level, then like they'll morph. So and then you do get Megazord battles, but they're like the last two levels of the game where it's just you do 2 fights at the end, and those were like fucking great. Like I would like fucking play through that game like just to fucking get to the Megazord fights. So but overall, like I didn't think this game was too bad. Of course, yeah, it was like stupid difficult, but which is to be expected with a lot of these games back then. But other than that, like this was actually a pretty decent game. Graphically, it wasn't quite all that. The sprites were like hella fucking tiny and shit. But music is really good. Like we're hearing the music now. Music is actually pretty good in this game. It's actually pretty fucking good. So yeah, I was quite surprised like how decent this game was. So all right, I'm going to stop here for a bit. The next game up on the list, I believe, is the Zeo Ranger game that came out in in Japan, also I believe for the Famicom. So I believe that's going to be the next game to play. So I'm gonna go and set that up and do, I don't know, whatever the fuck else I got to do, and then I'll be back to play through that game. So all right, yeah. So hopefully see you in a bit. Later.